into DAR Sports Media, another special edition on the media side of things. We've been hitting you guys with more of these lately, and we will continue to do so. It's a big weekend, especially for stately gentlemen of our age group, esteemed gentlemen of our age group, and that it's a versus between two of the most prominent rap groups of the era, of that era, between Cash Money and No Limit Records. A versus going down this weekend, as you hear this, Saturday the 25th. Real quick, like before we start rolling into everything, because I think that catalog wise, impact wise, I think a lot of people would look at like No Limit as like kind of like the spark and Cash Money as the forest fire kind of thing. But I just want to make sure that proper homage is paid to the things that No Limit did when they did them. Because it's a little bit further back than some of the Cash Money stuff and not quite as remembered as strong. You know, what's back that ass up still gets fucking spins today type of thing.
That's a classic for sure. Absolutely.
But No Limit was one of the first, like, and this will also be interesting because we can compare experiences of being exposed to this. Where I grew up, BET like wasn't even part of the regular cable package. Like it was just MTV. So I'm coming from a perspective of like mainstream when this stuff hit mainstream enough to be in regular rotation on MTV, not just on the rap shows where they used to like ghettoize black music to like regular MTV. It was like just out in the videos, amongst the Korn, amongst Limp Bizkit, amongst Orgy, amongst the boy bands, amongst Britney Spears.
What was that? What was that one? What was that one name? I heard Korn, Limp Bizkit. That's not a word that's not a word I'm used to hearing in the music.
You don't know the band Orgy? Oh, I gotta send you some of those songs. Those guys are fucking
Orgy, man. You don't know about Orgy? Orgy's cool.
Yeah. See, Chris knows. I'm not surprised that Chris knows.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. Yeah.
I'm Pearl Jam. You know what I'm saying? Soundgarden, like that's.
Orgy was more of like a electronica metal. It's fucking dope though. It's very multi-layered. It's very good.
It's just the name. Just the name caught me off guard.
But it's fucking good.
Right.
It's just the name. That's all. Just caught me off guard. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and Make 'Em Say was that video was in the regular fucking rotation back then. Like right there, it played back to back it with Nirvana and shit. Like Make 'Em Say was a huge video, and it wasn't. So was like your Puff Daddies and the Shining Suits and the Fisheye Lens bullshit. But Make 'Em Say was like a real rap video with like, and that video is a fucking classic video with the basketball game going on, all the cameos that are going on. So that was huge deal. They also, and you guys might remember or might be knowledgeable on some groups about like this at the time. They were the first rap label that I remember who, so for instance, like Death Row, they had a bunch of awesome rappers, but they were kind of regional. It was like all from the West Coast. No Limit was the first one that I remember that was kind of run like a sports team. Like if you're an all-star, we want you, and we don't care, where you're from or what kind of regionalized sound you bring with you. We want you because it's about the tank. It's about the tank on the necklace. So, they brought on a Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg had a classic album with No Limit.
I want to jump in real quick just before that, because the history of Master P, the history of P and what he's done, you got to go back to like the Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me. You got to go back to like those type of records because that sound was a Bay Area sound. That wasn't New Orleans bounce. That wasn't anything, which is why I think when people talk about No Limit versus Cash Money, like Cash Money is a little different because Fresh and them, but you can go back to UNLV, the B-32s back when Birdman was like not Birdman, he was Beatrice, baby, like stuff like that. Like before when Wayne and BG were the BGs, like that's what we're not gonna get in this versus. We're not gonna get like Ghetto Shine Coming was one of my favorite Master P songs. Like that's one of my favorite songs of his. But like that's the Bay Area sound versus like that older bounce, Manny Fresh bounce sound before they kind of updated it when you get like I Need a Hot Girl, Back That Ass Up, like songs like that, versus the Beats by the Pound, you know, Make Them Say like all of that sound, like that's the era that we're gonna hear in Verzuz. But I think that it sucks that we're not gonna hear that, because you hear those roots, the origin roots of both record labels and both groups, and like No Limit had that Bay Area sound. You would thought he was from Richmond, California. Like you thought he was from there because that's how he sounded. And then he eventually changed. When you listen to P in 96, 97, after the Ice Cream Man is a Bay Area song. Let's be clear. That's a Bay Area type song. That's not a New Orleans type song. Even when, you know, I'm trying to take these fools to like he's rapping like the Loonies, Yuck Mouth, and you know, them boys out there.
His first beef was Loonies.
Yep.
So if you know, kind of going a little bit off though, but the Loonies had a song called Ice Cream Man dissing Master P because he had the Ice Cream Man album and song, and they were, you know, Bay Area rivals and whatnot. So, you know, we go into the Verzuz, you know, everybody talks about, you know, Cash Money versus No Limit, or, you know, whatever, the Williams brothers versus the Millers. Nah, really, Master P first started out beefing with the dudes in the Bay Area. And to add, Master P also had two albums called West Coast Bad Boys with a lot of guys, like the Mac Malls, like the, you know, like the Spice Ones, the E40s, the, you know what I mean, like all those Bay Area icons. You know, the Two Shorts. He's had features with those guys on like his other albums, but he had compilation albums from the West Coast, compilations with the guys from the Bayou, you know, with the guys from the Gulf Coast, with the guys from Texas. So he is, like you said, like the general manager or the owner of a basketball team, where he's picked guys from the West Coast, from Mississippi, from Texas, from the Carolinas, you know, even a little bit of Miami, a little bit of, you know, the East Coast. Mr. Servo had a song with Big Pun, New York, New Orleans. So a lot of influences.
One thing I do want to bring up also while we're doing the No Limit roundtable, it gets kind of forgotten, but somebody whose style, lyrics, and abilities can be stacked up against anybody in No Limit, and really anybody of the past era. It's kind of easy to forget this is who this guy's label is, but you know, I've spoken before here about my best buddy, my brother from another mother. We've been best buds for 21 years. He is from New Orleans. He is New Orleans as it gets. You ask him, like, tell me a rapper who, like, he is New Orleans. He personifies New Orleans. He's going to tell you probably first BG. Maybe number two might be Soulja Slim, but number two also might be C Murder. And C Murder is a fucking No Limit rapper, and that sometimes is easy to forget. But some of C Murder's albums, especially his stuff in the late mid early 2000s, is fucking off the charts good. Deshaun, you got another guest on here joining us to talk out this stuff. Tell me about your memories. What comes to your mind when you think of No Limit and the things that they accomplished and their influence in the late 90s, early 2000s?
Man, in the late 90s, No Limit was the first time, I think it was like 98. My pops took me down to New Orleans, and that was my first introduction to No Limit. Being down there and hearing the music, you know, I was shocked. I was appalled. Like, I'm 8 years old at this point in time in 98. And it was just hearing Master P, hearing Mystical, hearing C Murder, who I personally think may be he could have been the best rapper in No Limit. He probably was the biggest superstar in No Limit to me. Like, easily to me, he could have been the biggest superstar.
True thoughts on the C Murder shout out?
I'm a fan. You know, I'm a fan, but at the same time, like, to me, my favorite rapper from No Limit was always Mystical. I mean, obviously his history. And I'm sorry, Mystical and Mac.
Yeah, okay. Mac's fucking underrated, big time.
Yeah,
yes,
Mac
very, very underrated.
Now I agree with the C Murder being like the biggest star. He had probably because he like No Limit came at a time and they hit at a time where there was a void in hip hop. We had just lost Pac and Biggie, right? So like there was a void, and C Murder definitely fit the role of the I don't give a fuck rapper that kind of fit in that mold a little bit. And then his music, I mean, you already know when you hear. I think people need to give more credit to True as one of the better groups in terms of hip hop. Like
I agree.
Like now, granted,
brothers.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Silk the Shocker is still struggling to find a beat now as we doing this. He's still struggling to find a beat.
Style now, though, I guess.
But but that's the thing now. People don't rap on beat anyway. But at that time, he was doing it like, what's the one? I always feel like somebody's watching me. That's one of the funniest verses I've ever heard. Like still to this day, I was listening to it the other day, and I was just like, none of this makes sense. None of it flows well, but it still hit. Like it still hits, and I think. Like just the music they made, like their albums, they got fire. Like they're fire albums, and we're gonna probably come back to this, but like the unspoken beef between No Limit and Cash Money, I always found it funny that Master P took a shot at Birdman, clearly a Birdman shot on Hootie Who. We was talking about this online not that long ago. Where like his verse starts, as it's sitting on 20s buying no motherfucking stun and get the get where they at, rat tat tat. I represent the third ward, you a rookie, I'm a vet. Like that's direct. Yep. And then Birdman comes back with, Birdman to me, I think Birdman one of the greatest rappers of all time. And not from a lyrical standpoint, not from a technical standpoint. I could quote right now, there's like 15 to 20 verses from 1997, 98, 99, 2000. And I'll never quote the number one stunner verse, but I think it's the funniest verse of all time. I think it's the funniest verse of all time. And like, that's the one thing I don't think people think about. Like Birdman and P, like Birdman's solo career, I didn't really care about like that. But like the big timers versus True is like, that's a matchup in itself. Because How You Love That, I Got That Work. I don't really care for Hood Rich and Big Money Heavyweight like that from the big timers. I don't really care for them like that. But How You Love That 1 and 2, classics to me. I Got That Work, classic. So you put them up against, True to the Game and those. I think that's gonna be the hidden gems. And Free C Murder, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're talking about, like Free C Murder. And that's another problem with this versus too. A lot of people not gonna be there that should be there, and
we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it real quick. Let's go. So all right, we done what we could for No Limit. I mean, Cash Money is where to even fucking begin with this?
The greatest record, I think, is probably like second and third greatest record. You could argue it's the greatest record label ever. I mean, they had the longest run. Wayne is still. One of the greatest to ever do, like still out there. He touring Carter 6 out. I mean, I just seen him like a couple months ago. Like it's just
and that's what's crazy is Wayne was just like one. He's just like a member of the group. He was just like a 12 and 8 guy. when the big hits were coming out.
I saw the vision. Like you gotta look back at Block Burner off of Get It How You Live, and
I mean he was always good, but like he became one of the best. Yeah, no, Block is Hot. He's crazy on that.
But he was just young. I think that's all it was, is that he was young, and his voice, you will get burned, like how you sound now, a little different, a little more raspier. But
just shows you the depth and the longevity of the group. I guess we'll start, even though a lot of people, I know True's probably going to want to wax poetic for a minute about Soldier Rags, because that's most people, most like hip hop aficionados, they're like, well, don't forget Soldier Rag. Like they got to talk about it. 400 Degrees.
I'm a G Code guy, actually. I'm more of a G Code guy than Soldier Rags.
I mean, that's something I'm interested to talk about as well.
I just want
to Project English too, man.
Project English. Project English
is good too. Yeah,
if they would have did what they were supposed to do in Birdman 1, screwing people out of their money, Project English would have been a classic. Or HB Headbuster was I'm warning you, I'm telling Headbuster and like even the My Life song, the song with the Hot Boys on it, even Sunshine, like Project English is fire. It's just uneven and incomplete. That's it. Like it's like a I forgot what they call it, but you know what I'm talking about when you had an album as incomplete and So but I do love Soldier Rags too. Money on the Couch, that's how it be happening. That's classics. I love them.
400 Degrees is, first of all, one of the first that I remember, even though a couple of them came out this same year. It's a no skip album. There's songs on that song. There's songs on that. It's funny because I was looking through it the other day, just checking it, just doing a little bit of research, like going through the track listing, and I had remembered it's like track 8 is one of my favorite songs that he's done. Welcome to the Nolia, and it had like 36, like people know, like it had like 36 million plays, compared to some of the other songs on it. Yeah, Welcome to the Nolia is what it's called. That has 6 million plays on YouTube Music. That song's fucking incredible, and that's like not even like most people don't even know about that song. Go look it up right now on YouTube if you haven't ever heard it. It's fucking fantastic. But it's a no skip album. There's so much good shit on there. It's cool because like you want people to blow up and get their money. You want good things to happen for people. So like it's cool that Back That Ass Up is such a classic and has lasted even to this day. It gets played and it has like 100 million plays on here. But it just makes me feel like Ha is like kind of underrated. There was really nothing like that ever before it, and certainly on mainstream MTV, that was like the first video that really took you like front and center into one of those fucking neighborhoods, and was a video that was shot in the manner that it was. It was shocking at the time. The production is just fucking insane on it. It's so fucking grimy. It's so good. Ha is fucking incredible. I feel like it's kind of underrated now. Not as people know it the way that they should. It's brain melting, like next to the kind of music that comes out now. I can't say enough, man. I guess we'll start. I mean, that's just one person in Cash Money. That was just like the lead off guy in Cash Money. Talk about 400 Degrees. Talk about 400 Degrees in that video, or whatever you want to wax about there, True, on that.
So look, man, 400 Degrees is a moment, rest in peace to my cousin, man. We grew up together, and like he was the one who put me on the Cash Money. Like we were kids, man. Like we kids just sitting there, and he comes up to me and he's like, and I knew of them at the time, but like I'm a kid, so I'm not checking new albums yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not checking albums like that. Like I'm just kind of listening to what's on TV. And then I remember seeing High video, and I was like, and we would be in school, like, something high. Something like that was just something we started doing after that, just because it was so catchy. And when my cousin, he had the album, and he was like, yo, let's listen to it. And at the time, I wasn't listening to, like, I'll be honest, my mother wouldn't let me listen to like the
like that
the parental like I hear songs on the radio, like Puffy, you know what I'm saying, on the radio. Biggie was on the radio at the time. Mace. I was like Bad Boys fan. I like Biggie, Mace. I like some of like Jay-Z stuff, like a little bit of Jay-Z stuff. Nas. Like I knew other rappers, but like in the South, like Baltimore, you don't really know too much about the South, and so I kind of heard other songs. And I was like, I kind of recognized a song or two. Like I knew No Limit at the time because of Make 'Em Say and I really Miss My Homies and stuff like that. Like those were the songs. But when I heard I was like, yo, this is different. And then the funny part is the song that I heard that actually I heard before Back That Ass Up was Rich Niggas. Like Rich Niggas was the one I heard, and that was the one that I was sold in. That's what sold me. Like that's one. It's like the loud pipes, big rims, that's my like that. I was like, yo, what is this? And then I only carry
good Lil Wayne feature.
He's like, I only carry big faces, juvie, no ching ching. Like it's just, and I was like, yo, who is this kid? Like, who's Wayne? Because I didn't know him like that time. And then that's when you kind of go back and you start, doing your history and studying, which everybody should do as a fan of hip hop. I think if you should do your history, like, you know what I'm saying? What came before us and what came at a time we weren't really fully able to comprehend or understand it. Like, you should go back and revisit it, because that's how I got to enjoy a lot of my favorite albums, because I was too young to really understand them at the time when they first came out. So, like 400 Degrees is one of those albums where it's monumental. It's like 5 or 6 million sold, like, and the songs are not what you consider mainstream songs. Like, you would have never guessed these songs would have hit in mainstream, especially during the era they did. I think DMX was probably like the only person that had like songs that didn't sound like glossy radio records at that time.
That hit, that were big hits.
Like that. And so, like, because DMX is talking about, get at me, dog, and you know what I'm saying.
That's a whole nother.
That's
we
that's a different
pot about that someday.
We will have a conversation.
But
about
like
DMX
looking at 400 Degrees, I'm looking at like Going Ride With Me, great. Flossing Season, great. Ghetto Children, great. Like all of these songs are fucking awesome.
Follow Me Now, Follow Me Now was like one of my favorite. I will say this, and I still
Run
say
For
this
It is fucking good. Another great Wayne
that's
feature.
a classic. Yeah.
Like,
I will say this though, when they added the Jigga High remix, I was not a fan of the High remix with Jigga with Jay-Z on it. I could do without that.
A lot of people weren't.
So I just thought it was cool because it sounded so fucking weird, like Jay-Z being on that beat. Like, it just sounded so like counter. I don't know, off. It just sounded very off kilter. It was pretty fucking.
Jay didn't know how to steal flows that well back then. I might get some Jay-Z fans coming at me a little bit. But like, come on, man. Wasn't no young Chris around, you know what I'm saying? Biggie wasn't around no more. You couldn't buy nobody real style like that.
With shape shifting.
Yeah, that's a different conversation about Jay and his I'm not a biter, I'm a writer, that type of vibe. But I just felt like the beat was escaping Jay on that. And I think he did a better job of like, rapping on Southern, like more Southern style production as he got, more comfortable with it. But this is, Jay was imaginary player, you know what I'm saying? Like primo beats and ski beats. Like he wasn't, Manny Fresh type beats. Like, nah, like I don't think he's rapped on another Manny Fresh beat like that since. Even
he's not good with bounce beats. Like
Timberland like that's not him.
And like the Pharrell beats, but not bounce. Like New Orleans bounce is not his thing. I don't think.
Yeah, like that just wasn't Jay. But I'll say everything else outside of that, I think that like I'm sorry, wait. I'm sorry. My favorite song on 400 Degrees is Juvenile on Fire. And like that's my favorite song just because the first verse is ridiculous. The first verse is ridiculous. And them first opening lines, I used to shed tears laughing. Just him, I'm gonna beat my meat and give a fuck. Like it's just the lyrics is so ridiculous. It's like what? As a kid, you like, yo, that's the funniest shit I ever heard. And so, so like Juvenile on Fire, obviously 400 Degrees, a title track, like the actual song 400 Degrees, that's iconic.
Yes, I was at a wedding 3 years ago, and that fucking song got played on the goddamn PA system. So yes, 100%. It was my friend from New Orleans, but still, fucking out of control. Chris, 400 Degrees, man. Thoughts?
Yeah, being down here in Miami, it was like, we have different video channels, not just BT, but Rap City was a big thing. Obviously, TRL. We have like different stuff like we had Miami Jams back in the day, and when Juvenile dropped, it was like, yo, this is crazy. Just like the visual of the Ha video, and then Follow Me Now came out. And then Back That Ass Up came out. So it was like just the visual of like those three videos, but also just like, street teams was a big thing too. Like a lot of people, when Cash Money would come down for whatever holiday it was, like Memorial Day weekend or 4th of July or Labor Day, they would come down. It was like Cash Money everywhere. So like that album was everywhere. And then, you caught up to all the older stuff like, oh, Soldier Rags. Oh, what is this BG? you know, and then you will see just everything just hitting. But that Juvenile 400 Degrees, it was like a moment. Like in school, it was a moment. I was like, you know, I was a little older. I was a teenager, like more like 11th, 12th grade. So it would just hit. Like just you just hear it like after school, like somebody whamming it 412s out the trunk, just hearing that, girl, this Juvenile, you don't know he on fire. You know what I mean? Like just hearing that and all the girls going crazy, all the street dudes going crazy. So I mean, yeah, it was still competing with the Master P's and you know TRUs and the Soldier Slims when Soldier Slim was on No Limit and all that. But this Juvenile was like it was like a different level, and then it led him to being in that conversation with the DMXs, with
Yeah.
the cannabis was hot at the time.
Top of the game. Yeah.
Who else I'm trying to think of? Like West Coast, like Snoop was in that you know, like these were big name people that were like whether they were up and coming, Black Rob, like all these different artists that were coming up. He was in the conversation of like being up there with them or better than them, exceeding what they're doing, just with that, I guess, mainstream debut.
Well, all you got to do is pull up the back then. You know, we all got thoughts and feelings about the Source, but they used to have the Source album every year, and Ha was on there right alongside Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Mobb Deep. You know, everybody who DMX, Method Man and Redman. Everybody who was putting out crazy stuff at the time. He was right up along. Ha was right up alongside him.
Yeah.
Deshaun, how did the era of 400 Degrees hit you?
Man, it hit a little different. The video of it was the first time I seen something that looked like the trenches. Because I went from there. I went from the era like I stayed in Texas, like New Orleans. That's a 6-hour drive for me. We weren't driving like that for real. So I'm like, oh snap, that's really what they doing. They got a pit bull feeding them lunch meat. Okay, this is a little different. You feel me? Like it was just crazy. And like I said, right then, how I came out, then Back That Ass was right there for me. So we going to family reunions, we going to picnics and having fun. That song is getting played. That song is getting ran through. That was like an era for me. That's like me going, okay, I'm 8, going to 10, 9, 10 years old. It's like Juvenile was one for me. It wasn't nobody else at that point in time for me. At that young of age, Juvenile was it for me. I started seeing people that looked like Juvenile. Like it was like, okay, like this is how y'all supposed to dress. I want to dress just like this. I want to talk just like this. So during school, we acting like we from New Orleans, huh? We doing all that.
Buddy's gonna love that. And that's kind of the example that you just said it. It's kind of the example that I was given. Like, you know, MTV, it would be, you know, oh baby, Britney Spears in the schoolgirl outfit, and then after that, it's Juvenile, and you're in the fucking trenches. Just like you said, like it was just insane. There was nothing like that going on back at that time, especially on that channel.
Yes, sir.
You had mentioned the G code, and it made me think of my personal. I would, you know, and it's arguable, right? I think possibly Manny Fresh's best beat ever is "I Got That Fire."
I think that's a classic beat.
That beat video is one of the best videos. They did pyro in the projects. WCW Nitro level pyro in the projects in New Orleans in 1998, 99. That's insane to me.
Now when I think of the G code, for me, my Cash Money Love is not the song that they're gonna play on Verzuz. That's what it is. None of the songs they're gonna play on Verzuz. Like Juvie might play 400 Degrees. He gonna play Back That Ass Up. He play Han. BG gonna probably do Cash Money as the Army. Better yet, the Navy. He gonna do Bling Bling. Yeah. These are classics. But for me, the G code, the title track, the G code, Live by Die by, nigga smell like that's like Wayne spazzed on that, bro. Like that was one of them verses where Wayne was like, "This is where them niggas die for." Sell bricks. Like he was going off on a lot of stuff. And Wayne got a verse on Big Timers. I Got That Work album. I think is one of his best verses still to this day. And Juvie he got a song on there called "The Man." The Man is on G code, and you pay $1,500. I pay $59.99. Got diamonds and Rolexes. The shot like like Juvie, like his personality in the records is what made me such a fan. I think Juvenile is one of the like top 5 Southern rappers that ever existed. For me personally, I got him on my top 5 Southern rappers. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's one of my first ever favorite rappers. It's like DMX, Pac, and like there's Juvenile. Like that's it. Like my favorite rappers. Like we started wearing. Now we wasn't wearing no Reeboks and Jabot jeans.
Oh, I was about to say you got the Jabots out. Yeah.
Nah, not from Baltimore, bro. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. But,
yeah.
But the white tees though, that's why we started wearing the white tees like we did. Because Baltimore was like we wore specific clothes. Like it was all about having the brand names on. This is like the Fat Farm, Call Canal, like even kind of Sean John Rockaware. But it was just like, all right, we want white tees, and people started carrying rags. Like we carried rags for different reasons at that time in the city, but we didn't. And they weren't no soldier rags, but they started to do that. You started seeing people with them camouflage like rags and camouflage stuff, and you start seeing people walk around with it. And it was just like it made you want to be a part of something. Like Cash Money was a movement. It was an army, Betty, and like it was that. And I will say this just because, like I think BG and Juvenile, they were like the lifeblood up until '99, and then BG kind of like not fell off, but I mean, look, that dope is heavy. It's a heavy thing, and they all were dealing with it. But I feel like BG got lapped after Chopper City in the Ghetto. And
hold on, what, I'm about to go to that now. Okay,
checkmate.
So
checkmate fire, but it was like the promotion behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like he got lapped by Wayne a little bit after that time.
Who the fuck didn't? Fucking that's when Lil Wayne fucking ascended to fucking based God fucking levels.
Not even Wayne wasn't there yet, because that's 500. That's 500 degrees. Wayne
was still crazy though too. The Block is Hot is an insane song.
The block is hot. The Block is Hot is a classic to me personally. But 500 Degrees, I think 500 Degrees is Wayne's like second or third worst album, and I don't think it's a bad album, but it's not a good album either. So
that's what I was about to go into. Like, right, we did the Juvenile, we paid homage to that. The other acts and why this is like, we love No Limit, we respect No Limit, but why this is not really a conversation, because the other acts just in and of themselves are so big that you kind of forget they were all part of the same fucking team. So let's just talk about some of our other favorite stuff that came out of Cash Money. You got the Big Timers. You got BG. You got the Hot Boys. You got fucking Lil Wayne. Ended up being, one of the best iconic rappers fucking ever, between the Carter and the Carter 2. And then his mixtape era as well, which was the whole, man. Go ahead, Drew. Some of you were starting to talk about it, Lil Wayne's ascension.
Well, so
those Big Timer albums are like their whole own thing, where like obviously they're not. Well, I guess it's an argument, right? Like when you say something doesn't stand up lyrically, what does that mean? Like but
it doesn't mean it wasn't in fun. It wasn't entertaining.
So that's what I'm getting at, right? Like the Big Timers. Lyrically, are they like Nas? Are they Lil Wayne? Are they Chamillionaire? Are they, stuff like that? Are they Papoose? Are they stuff like that?
I'm glad they're not Papoose. Birdman rap like Papoose.
Are they Saigon? Are they those guys? No.
I'd be very pissed.
But they're still fucking fun. Like they're very crossover. Like anybody can listen to Big Timers and like get why it's fun and enjoy it. But shit, where I was from, a very conservative area. Black people made up maybe 10% of the population out there, but you still heard that fucking Big Timers album with Oh Yeah and Quarter Take of Gas in my new E-Class. You still heard that album all over the place because the Big Timers were accessible. It's easy to understand why this is a fucking fun rap album. So when you say it doesn't hold up lyrically, well, what does that fucking mean? Does it have to be Shakespeare for it to stand up, or does it have to be enjoyable to where people will listen to it, understand it, and fuck with it? I don't know. But so Drew, go ahead and talk about, man.
So to that, like like we mentioned Juvenile, like I said, Wayne's a whole different. Like Wayne is now not even. He's a part of Cash Money history, but Cash Money is kind of like in his rear view. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like he's Young Money by himself. Birdman tried to kill him basically at one point. So obviously that's a whole thing. Like I mean, I even think Wayne doing those Hot Boy reunion concerts was a surprise because I was like, you got Bird, and at first he wasn't gonna have Birdman on. If people remember, like it was just the Hot Boys by himself. Like he wanted to do it with his brothers. And I will say this because if he hears his podcast somehow, and he probably like telling the truth, not hating. Turk is very important to Cash Money. He just don't get enough credit. He'll tell you about it on Instagram all the time or wherever. Or he just won't shut up about it.
I need a hot boy. I need what you need, boy. I need a hot girl. That album, Turk was fucking phenomenal on that album.
About whatever is a classic. You know what I'm saying on there. I like him hot. Don't tell me to stop. Like he.
Hey.
I mean, he was even on Welcome to the Noise, I want to say, or UPT, one of them songs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? One of them songs. He was, take hits like Black and Mo did back in the day in the middle. Like a lot of the stuff that comes from Cash Money, like Turk was around and he did a lot of stuff. So I don't like this current way of people acting like he don't need to be on there. Like he do need to shut his mouth currently. He do need to kind of like stop always running the social media and like, BG need to, he's just talking too much. And I think he thinks social media is like this gateway of like, oh, I'm being funny. Like, nah, you doing too much. But I will say like Turk's role, Turk was the guy who there's like Baller Block in the song is a classic. And every day, all day, all we do is get out grind, like from sun up to sundown, get out grind on. Like that's why you blocking us. But like those are classic records. And a lot of that stuff comes, even Project Chick. You know what I'm saying? Like that came from Turk's verse. Like these are classic.
Miami. That video,
Little
Haiti in Miami. That's the
and it looked like it. It looked like it. It looked like it.
But with Turk, Freak Them Girls is one of my favorites. Man.
All of them girls.
Yeah, come on, man. That song.
That's a classic.
To me, that's a classic. That's like a Turk classic, dog.
That's a classic. Like, but I'm saying, like I think that's what's gonna be a struggle in the verses for Cash Money is that you can't do I Need a Hot Girl and you don't have Wayne and Turk to do that verse back and forth because it don't hit the same. You could do I Got a Hot One, I Got One, take it in bed. You know what I'm saying? But in Birdman, I need a hot spicy. I could shot with like that's funny to me. A Birdman's verse is hilarious. I think Birdman's verse is hilarious, but like you can't
they always are.
Because that's what people like when you do that song. That's the verse that people care about the most. Like that's the verse because there was no Juvenile on that. Turk and Wayne came and they that back and forth on that song. So that like that's why I think in a way like it's gonna be hard for Cash Money to sweep this versus like a lot of people think they might, even though to me they have the stronger catalog quality wise. I think they have a stronger because I could look at No Limit stuff, going back to No Limit real quick. Like I could look at some of them and I'm like, hey man, like Fiend was cool, Mac was cool, Mystical was cool, but like Young Bleed and all that stuff. Like how you do that there? Like all them songs and stuff like that. Like these are classics, but like when we think about No Limit, we think about No Limit as a collective, right? Like the average person is gonna think about No Limit as a collective, just a Tank and like P and maybe See Murder and Mystical. But like people don't talk about Mac as much as they should. People don't talk about Mac as much as they should. They don't talk about Mercedes, you know what I'm saying, with that album cover and
I feel that they don't talk about Fiend enough either because
Fiend is one of my favorites.
Fiend is all time underrated. When he came on that Rough Riders album with the fucking Rock Bottom, that song is fucking out of control.
Also, rest in peace to what's my man Magic.
Magic.
Magic. Yes, Magic was the shit
Magic,
too.
yeah.
L-I-M-I-T. That song was crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like with No Limit, there's so many pieces that are gonna be missed in there too. So, but it's like but people remember No Limit, right? They remember No Limit. Like us, people who came up, like we be like, man, they ain't got such and such there, man. Mr. Go in jail. See Murder not here. But you can have Silta Shaka P and Mia X and who needs to get a lot of credit too because she is phenomenal and she's awesome. And I know her and P was beefing over the summertime because the Essence Fest and she wasn't supposed to get paid to do all that. Like that's another thing. Both P and Birdman have some of the shadiest history with some of their artists. RP Soldier Slim, Magnolia Slim, RP to Magnolia Slim, Soldier Slim, whatever. Like, so I think that's another part of it too. And I think the verse is going to be a mess.
That's a whole pod in and of itself. It's like uncrowned champions. Like there's a lot of people My
Verzuz
buddy,
is gonna be a mess.
People from that area will happily, no problem, tell you that Soulja Slim was going to be one of the biggest acts ever in rap. Before that happened,
potential. Potential,
he's
man.
fucking incredible. There's a legend down there.
I think I would have loved to see what would have happened for Slim after Slow Motion hit.
Yeah,
because
that was a big one. He had motion. He had motion with that "Love Me, Love Me Not." That was
he was.
That was in that same era. Yeah,
he was rolling, and I think it sucks too, man, because I feel like when Juvie came back to Cash Money, you know what I'm saying, which is not often talked about, but like that 2003 Juvie the Great, which I think is a fire album too. Like Juvie don't really miss to me. Like I don't think Juvie don't really miss like that. Like he don't really miss, especially when he worked with Fresh, and like he don't miss like that. So I think Juvie the Great was one of those things. And so when I remember buying the album and like listening to it, I'm like, man, like Juvie be spitting, like Juvie be rap, he can rap, like he raps, and it's just his voice and his cadence make it sound funny or give it a little more oomph to it. But to go quickly back to the big timers, I'll say, like I said, I'm not as big of a fan of the Hood Rich album like everybody else is with the "Oh yeah" and I got swine on the seats. Oh yeah, like that wasn't my big timers. That wasn't my Birdman type of stuff. Like my Birdman, you didn't like TQ and Street. TQ and all of it. I wasn't with all that. Like,
there's a track on that album called "My Peoples." That's a really good fucking. I think it's the last track on the album.
I remember that song. I remember the whole album. But see, for me, my favorite Birdman stuff was when he could not find the beat. Birdman started trying to rap on beat, and you know what happened to that boy and studying patty cake. I don't want to hear that shit. That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear Birdman, come on, niggas be riding. I want to hear, I ride for my niggas. I die for a few niggas. Sugar Slim, man. My hot boy. Like, that's the I want. Yeah, like I want to hear that. Like, play it while you hating. Like that's the type of Birdman stuff I want to hear. And
I mean, on Bling Bling, which by the way, it would be crazy if we went through this and didn't mention Bling Bling, was another one that was just a fucking hit like an asteroid into the earth when it fucking came out. The whole fucking group.
The original version with Perk on it, though. The original version. Not the
and Birdman's verse on Bling Bling is out of control. Like just so offbeat and just.
I got these hoes ice sucking nuts while my little PG on the bus putting out cigarette butts. And me personally Playboy, I don't give a fuck. But like always show love.
He ain't even rapping with the beat, just talking. I love
the Cash Money model, the drank till we throw up. Look, like I said, Birdman is one song from the How You Love That era that I love. It's called How Should I Ride? And Birdman's verse is the funniest, one of the funniest verses he ever has. And I think to like people who listen to that, I love that. But like the big timer to me, when we get to now, I will say this: it was till I Got That Work, which is my favorite personal Big Timers album, just because I think Birdman was so ridiculous. Like you can listen to songs like Rocky, Stuntastic. Rocky, first of all, Rocky is the worst song in the history of Cash Money Records. And I want you to listen to it. If you listen to the lyrics, the first line in the song, I'm not even gonna repeat the you can look it up for yourself. Birdman's whole verse, this is like I put it like this. If you ever heard Project Pat's Gorilla Pimp, that is in the same vein. It's basically in the same vein. They basically got the same thing. And we could do a whole 3-6 Project Pat type conversation and hypnotize minds. That's for another day. But like I said, Big Timers. I think Big Timers got so many hits and so many songs that just connected because it was like you said, it was fun. It was fun, but underneath the fun, it was some game being spit. It was some street shit. Yeah. Like it was all of that. And I think outside of Juvie and Wayne, I think Big Timers had the most accessible music for the mainstream. Like that, like Juvie and Big Timers to me are because BG, like Chopper City, It's All on You. That's not like easily accessible music for the masses, for the mainstream. That's like street, like that's that, VL. That's that VL, you know what I'm saying, type music. That's not, you know what I'm saying. That's not for mass consumption. Bling Bling was for mass consumption. Cash Money is the Army, yet a Navy. But Checkmate, because like Christmas mentioned Checkmate. Checkmate has a ton of like street anthems, but it's not outside like Hennessy and Ecstasy.
and that you don't hear no other songs getting played and nothing like that. You're not gonna probably hear nothing from Checkmate on the Verzuz. Probably not. You're probably not gonna hear it. So like they're gonna, and I think that's gonna show why Turk and BG's beef, which isn't very important. It's very important to this Verzuz because I think their beef is very stupid, and I think they both look very immature and.
Nope, your mic cut out, buddy.
Yeah, I got a call coming in.
There you go, you're back.
Bad. Yeah, I had a call come in. So you know, I think it makes me look at Cash Money as Cash Money could never get it together after a while. Everybody had their drug problems, everybody had their money problems, and you know, contract problems. But the BG and Turk thing makes me realize that they were both significant pieces to this puzzle. But BG trying to downplay Turk's importance to Cash Money. I get why Turk feels the way he does. I do think, however, Turk needs to shut up a little bit and like stop going on the internet and like drunk ranting about his so-called brothers, and like Juvie brought him on tour with him, you know what I'm saying, before they started doing these reunion shows and Verzuz. Like Turk was hurting for a while. Turk was like, hey man, ain't nobody look out for me. I came home from jail, whoop-de-whoop, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then he gets on the internet and he like, yeah, Juvie, my big brother, I love Juvie. And then you get kicked off the tour and now I don't trust Juvie no more. Like Juvie ain't had to take you on tour with him for the 400 Degrees band. He ain't had to take you on that tour. He paid you out of his pocket to go on that tour with him on like a bunch of dates. He didn't have to do that. Juvie's the reason why we got the Hot Boys reunion in the first place. So I think everybody's egos need to be checked. BG looking a little funny. Turk look a little funny right now. BG moving a little funny. Some of his videos, it's a little funny.
No
enthusiasm
to me.
Yeah, like it's just little, you know, like you know what I'm saying, baby, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking. Like it, like BG always is like that, but it's like, brother, you was in jail for about 14 years. Like you ain't learned no new words. You ain't, you know, like I mean,
he got people in his corner too that I don't know, you know, kind of suspect. I don't know.
Some very shaky
guy around him.
Yeah, the girl I see him with all the time, from what I done heard, you know what I'm saying, she might be playing with nose a little bit. She might be trying to get him. Like, he don't need that. For one, he came right out of jail, hung out with Birdman, and then got him somebody from Instagram that I guess that's what he wanted. And I you know, you spent 14 years, almost 14 years behind the walls. I get it, man. Like, I got family, you know what I'm saying, came home from doing 10, 15, and, you know, they want what they think they want. And then you get to it, and it's like, that's not what's going to help you in the long run. But BG a grown man, you know what I'm saying? He grown. Like, he's gonna have to figure out what's right or not. But I don't think, for me who grew up as a Cash Money fan, like Cash Money, the reason why I started making music in the first place. That's why I'm gonna rap was Cash Money. And to see them beefing over the fact that they just not talking. Like, y'all grown ass men. Like, y'all almost 50. Pick up the phone and call each other. Like, just talk. Like, talk out your issues. Like, if you got issues, if y'all got a squabble, you know, shoot the fair one, do that. Like, it's a simple thing. Like, y'all don't have to be friends or work together all the time, but like Juvie doing songs with BG, Juvie on tour with Turk, Wayne doing songs with BG, Wayne and done songs with Turk. Like, why can't y'all get it together for one Hot Boys record to do it on the tour that y'all been doing? Now the tour don't exist no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Louisiana Fest is in a week. Ain't no Hot Boys listed on there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they messing it up. This Verzuz could be the start of something, or it could not be. We don't know. Hopefully they get it back together. Hopefully they get it right. Turk not being invited to the Verzuz, I think, is whack. Wayne is in Vegas that night. He won't be there. So there are some definite issues that I see happening with this. I think the Verzuz is going to be a mess. I think it's going to look terrible on camera. I don't think it's going to be as exciting as we want it to be. I think Turk should be there. I think Turk, BG, Wayne, all of them. I think that Juvie, they should all be there with big timers. That's what we want to see. We can't see Mystical. We can't see C-Murder, but we're going to probably see everybody. We're going to see Snoop. Snoop will probably be there with No Limit, probably. He ain't got nothing else to do, probably. I mean, unless you don't like commercials or something, he probably got nothing else to do. So, like, we're going to see all of those people there, and to have 4 people, because that's what it's being marketed as by Swiss Beats, Timbaland, and them. It's being marketed as 4 members of Cash Money. It's Juvie, BG, and the Big Timers, which without Wayne, without Turk, you're missing a significant portion of that catalog, and a significant portion of what made Cash Money so influential was that the solidarity between them as family. They felt like they were family. You ain't feel that way with No Limit like that. And that was real family. You didn't feel like that though. Like that's his brother, but you didn't feel like that.
There was too many other people in that label and group that
like
you had
35
extended
motherfuckers.
family. Yeah, you had extended family and cousins and homies from the hood. It was like an MC Hammer situation with No Limit. Like he looked out for everybody. He looked out for everybody. He didn't care what ward you was from. He didn't care what affiliation. He just looked out inside a bunch of guys. If you was good, we was gonna get you on. You came from Cali and you was dope. All right, we put you on the label, and that's just how it was. You know, he saved Snoop Dogg, but that's how it was. And then going into it, you know, the Cash Money and No Limit connection. There's one guy. Actually, there's a guy. You know who he is. He's been on 3 labels in New Orleans: Big Boy, No Limit, and Cash Money. Mystical. And he won't be there.
For good reason. For good reason.
For good reason. But you know, he did have, what was it, 1 album or 2 albums with Cash Money?
I think it was one because I don't remember the second one, but maybe it was. Maybe it came and went. I don't know.
Possibly, but he does have a history with No Limit and Cash Money Records, and I mean most of his major looks have been with No Limit though. You know, Unpredictable, Ghetto Fabulous. I'm known for getting another album that Mystical had, but yeah, just Mystical is one of them guys, man. He had a lot of good music on all these labels. Even the stuff on Cash Money was pretty dope. It just didn't go to where everybody thought it would. Now, I don't know if it was like a really good mix at the time, but he did work with Manny Fresh. There's a viral video. I don't know if that song ever came out where Mystical was like freestyling in the Porsche with Manny, and Manny dropped the beat on him. And Mystical was going hard on that song. And I don't know if that song ever came out but that was a hard ass beat for Manny. And Mystical, that Unpredictable album was like that was one of the ones. You know, everybody knows Still Smoking and Still Smoking 2 from Ghetto Fabulous.
Deshaun, thoughts on this Verzuz in general?
So I'm just not getting some new information. I didn't know Wayne wasn't coming and Turk not invited.
Oh,
what are we doing, man?
Hey man, listen. I just want to say this real quick. Turk kind of has to blame himself for this. And Turk, as someone who follows Turk and who has interviewed Turk, I interviewed Turk like 9-10 years ago, and I never forget this. I interviewed Turk like 9-10 years ago. And I had his phone number, like we had good rapport. But what happens is Turk doesn't see what he does to other people. And I realized that, and this is why I said I've been waiting kind of for something like this. You can actually go, well, I'm not going to direct people to my YouTube, but if you know my YouTube, you know it. And there's a video on my YouTube of like 15 minutes of the interview. And I remember talking to Turk, and I'm like, hey man, you know, whoop de whoop. Nobody knows this because nobody cares about Turk like that, to pay attention like that. I just see everything. So I saw Turk went and threatened BG. He said, when we show up at Nashville or Detroit, we can get it in. You got your crew, I got my crew. We can throw hands, we can throw guns. And that's why the tour got canceled. That's why that Cash Money 30th anniversary tour, because Turk was drunk on live. And then he come back later on his Beehive podcast and be like, telling the truth, not hating. I don't know why y'all hating on me. And it's like, bro, we seen what you did. And so he's gaslighting and manipulating the situation because he still wants to be on tour. And he was on live. He was on live on Instagram like not that long ago, like, before we did this. So he does this every day. And sometimes you got to know when to fold them. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back to Deshaun because I don't want to hear this, but like the Turk situation, Turk has no accountability. He has no self-awareness. He's blaming BG for everything. He acting like Fresh and turned on him. He acting like Juvie and turned on him. When in reality, he's done this to himself. I do say, however, he was deserved a phone call from the rest of them after he got kicked off the tour. Juvie was like, "Oh, we're gonna get it back right," but won't call him. And I think that's whack. And I think Cash Money is a bunch of grown ass men in their like late 40s and 50s who can't pick up the phone and call each other to like work out their issues. It's business. It's different. It's business. This is millions of dollars at stake for them, and they're blowing it by being petty. And Turk won't shut up. Turk made probably about 600, 700,000 off of those Louisiana shows, because he said Louisiana Fest shows that happened, he asked Wayne for this amount, and Wayne said, bet, you got that, because Wayne has that type of power. Wayne can probably get $600,000 a show, and he could probably be like, hey, Turk won 75, or Turk won 100, BG won 100, Juvie won 100. And because it's Wayne, it's going to happen. Wayne just need to be at the center of everything because he's the star. But Turk won't shut up. Turk has never said nothing bad about Wayne because that's where the bread is buttered. That's the person who won't. Wayne is not going to do this versus if Turk's not there. He might show up, but I doubt it. He did the Essence Fest last year with Cash Money. Did he perform with them? No. Did he do any of them Cash Money songs? No. That's probably going to be the issue with this versus. That's the issue with Cash Money. I can't imagine being in jail for 14 years and coming out and wanting to have a warpath with people that you came up with. I know Turk was selling some shirts, some free BG shirts. They ain't make no money like that. And BG Mama was like, oh, he ain't give us no money off of them shirts and do. I mean, it probably wasn't nothing to give. Nobody was buying them shits. And nobody was really screaming free BG when he was out. Before he was out. Like Boosie wasn't on him. Like Boosie wasn't doing that like that. He might have said it here and there. T.I. wasn't doing it like that no more. You don't even hear T.I. talk about. Remember, BG was on Grand Hustle at one point, working with Grand Hustle at one point. You ain't hear T.I. doing none of that. So, you know what I'm saying? Gucci, when BG got out of jail, he worked with Gucci. And Gucci don't talk nothing about him no more. They were doing work together. So I think BG is doing whatever he can to stay relevant, stay hot. Turk doing the same thing. The problem is you're better together than apart. You unify, you come together. There's a ton of money, there's a ton of success for y'all. And that's the problem that we have with a lot of brothers in general and a lot of movements. We can come together and work together. And me and Christian talk about this in a different industry, low key. A different industry, not music, but another industry. Like,
yeah.
It's too much gatekeeping going on. Like, bro, we all come together, we work together, we make things happen. It's nothing that can stop us as a people if we come together and work together and make things happen. Unfortunately, Turk, BG, egos, alcohol, drugs, like it is what it is, you know. But I'm passing back to Deshaun. I just want to get out the way. Turk is an idiot. BG is also an idiot. Turk is hosting a party in Houston, Texas, where he's watching the verses and he's going to rap I just want to put this out real quick. Turk said for every song they do, he's going to do a song of his. That's 20 No Limit songs and 20 Cash Money. I don't think Turk got 40 songs in his catalog, but I could be wrong. You know, maybe somebody hadn't heard him. I haven't. But yeah, so Deshaun, you know what I'm saying? You can get it back, brother. I don't know what else to say about Turk, except for that brother needs to
How is this going to go, Deshaun?
Man, now that I got that information, it still ain't gonna sway my answer, but it just hurt. It's just hurtful, man. Come on now, y'all can do this for this one particular time, man. Wayne, I hope he show up. Turk not being as. I mean, I get tired of him always on live with his wife, like respectfully. That I don't know, man. It just Cash Money was it's just better, man, to me. But them brothers not being there ain't gonna do. I don't know, man. It's just hurtful. Y'all just gave me some hurtful news. I'm sorry. Like it's a good.
I hear the pain, brother. I could hear the pain. I can hear the pain.
I can't get my thoughts together now. I'm thinking everybody was gonna be there, so I'm like, oh no, it's over with. It's GG's for No Limit. Like that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking everybody gonna show up and do their thing. Now hearing that is like. It's gonna be a lot closer because you're taking away a lot of music with them brothers not being there. You taking away a myriad of hits. You can't do none of Wayne 500 Degrees. None of the hits from Wayne. Turk on there, he ain't gonna be there. So I'm not gonna watch no verses with Turk rapping. I'm not gonna do that. And so all you're gonna have is Juvie, Manny Fresh, like the Big Timers, and BG. Like that's it. That's all. Like what y'all gonna do against No Limit hits now? Now y'all gotta actually like pick and choose which hits y'all gonna use.
Yeah,
and not having
performing.
Exactly.
Performing or are they playing them? Like, cause you know some of the verses you don't necessarily gotta perform the song. You might just have the DJ play it, and then you know people just kind of vibe out and add a little bit. But it doesn't work in Cash Money's favor in that sense because No Limit got the performers. They got the numbers in terms of performers.
Exactly.
Then Cash Money does. I mean, what you gonna do? Pull Drake out or something like that? Like how's it gonna work with the Cash Money side of it? Like, are you pulling some random Cash Money artist that we never really heard of? Like TQ gonna come out of nowhere? Like Boy got it? Like no one really want to see that. Like that's
They
not
bringing Ty Teasy back. They bringing Ty Teasy, TQ, Boo and Gotti.
Yeah, they gonna bring all the they gonna bring was it BG brother Hakizzle? Like who they bringing? Like squad up? Like what's going on? They're not even really officially Cash Money. So I mean, you gotta deal with the numbers. I mean, if Mac is even performing, it's gonna be Feed. You know, just the stage presence of Feed actually been on the road performing. You know, I don't know if your ex really been out there because I know she was dealing with health issues and stuff, but she still performs what she can. I mean, you know, we still see Silk the Shocker out here. We still see P out here, so they gonna most likely perform. It's gonna be different for Cash Money compared to No Limit. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's going to be a happening Saturday night at Las Vegas. We thank you all for joining us for this little breakdown of both groups. What we think is going to happen. Nice little walk down memory lane, I hope. Check out the rest of the page. D'Angelo, while we're on the music subject, the D'Angelo retrospective posted earlier on, RIP to him. That's up on the page. NBA Western Conference preview up on the page. Eastern Conference preview coming up real soon. Check that out. If you like us more for the media side of things, next week we got a big episode. It's going to be high quality. Looking at for Spooky Season 4 Halloween, breaking down the greatest Halloween super villains, the greatest horror movie super villains of all time. My man Freddy, my man Jason, Michael Myers, they're all going to be in there. We're all going to have the breakdown on there with a film expert joining us. We've just secured. It's going to be a fantastic time. Check that out. And of course, every week the DAR NFL show, football show. It's college too. Check that out. It's posted up on the page. Good times there. Movies, music, the verses. Check out all our shorts. You see all the places that we're at, and all of this is because the world of DAR never stops.